What is going on, everyone? It is Mike. Welcome back to Tech 24/7 TV in a new studio space. So there's a little bit of echo. I apologize if you hear that. We'll get through it together. It's going to be all right. Now, Apple held their Time Flies event today from Cupertino, pre-recorded. Really, this event was so well produced, just like the event back in June for WWDC, but really a well-produced, pre-recorded event that laid out product announcements for the Apple Watch Series 6, the Apple Watch SE, new iPad Air, and a new iPad 8th generation. A lot of things to go through. Let's get right into it. First up are going to be the changes to Apple Watch Series 6. This is going to be a brand new Apple Watch, keeping the same size and shape as it did last year. No real aesthetic changes to the Apple Watch other than a couple brand new finishes that we're seeing here. So we're seeing like a navy blue, we're seeing product red, graphite gray, and there'll be a few different key features. First, it's the S6 system on a chip, which is going to be based on the A13 processor from the iPhone, but it's going to be highly optimized for the Apple Watch itself. Now, there's also be some efficiency gains, including it's going to be 20% faster than the Series 5. It's going to have always-on display. It's going to be 2.5 times brighter than the previous model in the S5. It's going to have an always-on altimeter, and it's going to be able to measure your blood oxygen level in 15 seconds. Now, this is really a big deal for people, not just people who are health conscious, but people who use the Apple Watch as a proxy to go ahead and get certain metrics and, really live day to day because they have some type of illness or some type of condition where it's critical to knowing these type of data points. In the beginning, Tim showcased 2 or 3 different individuals that have health conditions. One having stage 1 diabetes, the other individual being blind, where they really depend on the Apple Watch to help function day to day and live a normal life. So any incremental advancements in being able to use the Apple Watch as a tool to go ahead and detect onset symptoms for health conditions is going to be a huge win in my book. Now, what's key here that they are also bringing out a new Apple Watch called the Apple Watch SE. They're bringing key features from the Series 6 and the Series 4, combining them into a new watch. You get a lot of the features, including the always-on display. You get the S5 processor, you get the fall detection for a much cheaper price of $279. All these features coming in at $279. I think this is going to be a huge hit at the holiday time where many of the people that own Apple Watches today know the value proposition that it brings to them personally, and they can use this tool to go ahead and help other people in their lives with the new Family Setup feature. Now, Family Setup allows you to go ahead and activate an Apple Watch for a family member, whether it's a mother, father, or someone who might not typically have an iPhone, or even a young child, and have them use that Apple Watch as a device. And it is available in both Wi-Fi and LTE, so if you want to get a telephone number assigned to it, you can. That is an option. Yeah, the Family Setup feature is actually kind of really nice. I wish they would bring this to iPhones. It's really kind of like a managed device service for parents, right? So it's great. I can get my my mom or my dad an Apple Watch and not necessarily have to worry about them trying to screwing it up. And for me, that's great because then I don't get called as much as I would normally, where they, deleted an app and they're like, where'd it go? I can't find my app. You know how it is, right? Don't tell me. I know all of you out there have set up a phone for a friend or a family where they have no idea what they're doing. That's my father especially. Another interesting metric that they're adding into the Apple Watch Series 5 and Series 6 is the ability to go ahead and read VO2. VO2 is a measurement or a metric that is used to go ahead and really infer level of fitness for an individual, and they're bringing those alerts into the Apple Watch later on this year. Now, as far as accessories for the Apple Watch, there are some new bands and new colors coming out because it is fall, right? This is what Apple typically does. We have some new colors, included a braided solo loop, which comes in 5 or 6 different colors. Looks really, really nice in the red, match that product red watch, in addition to a non-braided solo loop or fluoroelastomer solo loop. That looks good, but just not quite as good. It comes in a much more broader variety of colors. Now, in addition to that, there is a new leather link, which looks like the leaks that were shown maybe 3 or 4 months ago. It looks like these little pills that kind of traverse or that are etched into the side. It's really ugly in my opinion, but let me know in the comments below if you like that. There is a new Apple Watch Nike bands in addition to some new Hermes bands. Now, shifting gears into services, Apple is introducing a new fitness subscription service called Fitness Plus, where they have about a dozen or so different workouts that are available on your Apple Watch, where you can stream and participate in the workouts using your Apple Watch iPhone, iPad, or Apple TV. Now you're able to go ahead and connect your Apple Watch and it shows the workout on screen, giving you all the key metrics of your workout on the screen, which is actually really cool. And they have some nice gamification while you're working out. You can see if you hit the metric or if you close your stand ring or your move ring in, I think, more of a competitive way. This is a really nice feature, and I think this is really gonna sell well because Fitness Plus is gonna introduce a really of a new kind of fitness experience that dynamically integrates your own metrics from your Apple Watch into the workout on screen. Now, I think this is kind of one of the cool things that have been missing from workouts. Like I've used Beachbody On Demand, a couple other ones that are on the Apple TV, but they really fail to integrate what you're seeing and how you're feeling from working out into the live workout, which I think that Fitness Plus will crush that, no pun intended, during this. And this is what's gonna make people really, this is gonna make this product very, very sticky. I think most of the people know the value of the Apple Watch, but they don't necessarily know how to take advantage or how to work out. Really, working out is probably very intimidating for a lot of people, especially when you are a beginner, which they do have courses geared towards beginners, because you don't know what workout you should be doing for whatever your problem that you're trying to solve, whether lose weight, gain weight, stay fit. And this really takes out the guessing game out of what you can do and giving you a workout that is kind of fully prescribed front to back. So I think this is going to sell really well, $9.99 a month or $79.99 a year. Now that is also available in Apple's new subscription service, which is called Apple One, where they're combining a number of different services, including iCloud, Fitness Plus, News Plus, Apple Music, and Apple TV Plus. All then for either going to be $14, $19, or $29.99, depending on what services you want bundled in. Obviously at the high end of the price point, I think, for me at least and my family, it's a pretty good deal. Let me know what you think about it. Are you gonna go ahead and sign up for it? In addition to Apple Watch Fitness Plus, anyone who buys a new watch this year, Series 6 or Apple Watch SE, will get 3 months free of Apple Watch Fitness. Now, I apologize if you hear kind of this low hum. I'm in a new house, I'm in a new space, trying to make it as best I can. Next year, we have a new iPad 8th generation. Now, I am an owner of an iPad 7th generation. This is the iPad I use for my son for traveling. And the iPad 7th generation has really been April or May? Yeah, April of last year. So it's really surprising to me that they are updating it so early on in its life cycle. Now, the new iPad 8th generation is getting the A12 Bionic. It is a 4-core GPU and a 6-core CPU with 2 times faster performance than a Windows tablet. Burn. That neural engine that's going to be included in the new iPad 8th generation is going to be able to process 5 trillion computations or operations per second, really bringing it on par to the same computing power as the iPhone. Now, there are going to be some differences here. There's still only 3 colors. It does start at $299 for education, $329 for regular consumers, but you could probably get that education discount if you really wanted to. The base model is going to be 32 gigs at that $299, $329 price point. I think at Christmas time, there are going to be a ton of people that have older iPads. Anything that's really iPad Air 2 and below, which still really the iPad Air 2 is still in scope today for iOS 14, and I have my full review of iOS 14 coming very soon. So if you want to see that, make sure you are subscribed with notifications because it'll be dropping very soon. Now, in addition, there is a new iPad Air coming in a handful of new colors. Now, the iPad Air 4 is going to feature a new all-screen design, really mirroring or mimicking the iPad Pro design today with the same liquid retina display. It's going to be 10.9 inches end-to-end, so it shares the same body as the iPad Pro 11-inch. It does still retain, or does retain, Touch ID, but what Apple is doing here in this new version, that they've moved Touch ID here to the sleep-wake button on the side. Or it will be able to share the Magic Keyboard from the 11-inch iPad Pro. In addition to, it's going to be available in sky blue, green, rose gold, silver, and space gray. Now, that sky blue is a beautiful color. I hope they make an iPhone in that color. Let me know what you think about that sky blue, because I'm all about that. Now, this is going to be the first device that Apple has that supports the A14, until next month when the iPhone comes out. But it does have the A14 with the neural engine in it. Additionally, you do have the ability to go ahead and connect an Apple Pencil 2 to it this time. It's going to go ahead and work just like this. Now this also supports P3 color gamut, true tone display. It is fully laminated with 0 air gap, and it does have that anti-reflectivity coating. Now the cameras here, the same camera that you have on the back of the device is going to be the same camera that's on the same primary camera that's on the back of the iPad Pro. It is a 12 megapixel wide camera. It's going to have 1.8 aperture. It does have that 5-element lens. It's hybrid. It is backside illuminated, and it does support live photos with stabilization. Now for video recording, it does 4K at 24, 30, and 60 frames per second. It does 1080 HD recording at 30 or 60. Now you're not gonna be getting a great camera here because you probably don't walk around, taking photos of things, but I will tell you that in terms of AR, like having this size iPad with a good camera, this is the 2020 iPad, with the LiDAR sensor, it does work really well if you're doing measurements. Like here I have a new house and you take measurements of things, and using this for that application works really well. So that's just my opinion, and I think that you might not be an iPad photographer, but you use the camera for what I would consider realistic applications. Now, interestingly, the one feature that does come in the new iPad Air 4 is going to be USB-C. So this really leaves just the iPad 7th generation and the iPad mini are the only two devices that support Lightning in their current lineup. Everything else has been from the iPads. Everything else has been moved over to USB-C. Now, it would be very interesting if Apple takes that same approach with the iPhone 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, and gives those devices USB-C. I don't know, it doesn't seem completely out of the realm of possibility right now, and it actually seems a little bit more realistic now that we know this. Now the starting price of this is gonna be $599, and that's gonna get you 64 gigs of storage, and then from there you're gonna go up to $749 for 256 gigs. Now this is gonna be available next month. Can't buy it today, unfortunately. You have to be next month. Not to discount the work that Apple is doing towards the environment, because it is very important. All of the new devices, Apple is really doubling down on commitment to sustainability, and I think best practices when it comes to making themselves carbon neutral. They committed to a goal, 2030, their entire company, including supply chain end to end, is gonna be completely carbon neutral. Admirable from a kind of social and corporate responsibility perspective, that they are setting the bar so high between themselves, Google, Facebook, and all the other big tech companies to go ahead and make themselves carbon neutral when we live in a country where they don't take science maybe so seriously. Now that is going to wrap it up for me. I have a lot of things planned coming up for this really Techtober, which is we're in now, October, and for the rest of the year. Make sure you are subscribed with notifications to be alerted when that new content drops. And again, I have that new iPad coming this Friday. So if you want to see that, make sure you are subscribed. I am Mike. This is Tech 24/7 TV. I will talk to you in the next one.